Hey guys, I'm going to start this off with a list for you guys. This is a list that I like to call porn band names. All right, you'll get the drift as I do it. Jizz Khalifa, Jizz Marquis, Hootie and the Blowjobs, Queens of the Bone Age, Cunting Crows, The Scissor Sisters, Radio Getting Some Head, Drive Shaft, Alice Pooper, Bone Iver, Hole, Cunna Lincoln Park, System of a Going Down, The Flaming Lips, Vanilla Lice, Taking It in the Back Sunday, The Bloodhound Gangbang, Lil Wang, Notorious B.I.G. Spot, The Bestiality Boys, The Strokes, The Hives, Daft Fuck, Balls Out Boy, Jimmy Eat Vagina, Blow Jay-Z, Handjob at the Disco, Snoop Doggy Style, Phallus in Chains, Heavy Flow Rida, Soulja Boy on Boy, Newfound Glory Hole, and the Smashing Blumpkins. Thank you. So, when I was a kid, I read child detective stories, and recently I've kind of been feeling nostalgic for them, and so I decided to go down to Borders because it's going out of business and everything's really dirt cheap, and see if the stories hold up the way I remember them holding up, and they don't. But it turns out the people who wrote those books, they never stopped writing them. They still write these child detective books, but the problem with them is they tried to update them for the youth of today to relate to. But the problem is they lost sight of what made these books good, namely having mysteries in them. For example, there was Nancy Drew and the Case of the Disappearing Positive Body Image, which isn't so much a mystery as it is a story about Nancy Drew getting cyberbullied in an AOL chat room. And there's no real mystery involved. You don't ever find out who the cyberbully was. It's just the story ends when Nancy's parents get really concerned about her and put her on medication. It's like you can't make an entertaining book with hundreds of pages of a girl being sad. It's like they took the worst lessons from the Twilight movies. Namely, you can't have that kind of story unless it also has sparkly vampires and shirtless Native American werewolves. I didn't even want to pick up Nancy Drew and the Craigslist boyfriend, or Nancy Drew in the Case of the Really Creepy Uncle. Those just made me sad that those existed. And then there was the Hardy Boys and the Secret Stash House, which, for one, the Hardy Boys have moved to the inner city, and they're not it's not read as the Hardy Boys anymore. It's the Hard E Boys because they sell hard ecstasy as their primary drug. And the story, it's not so much about them solving a mystery as it is, their stash house gets robbed, and they're trying to track down the rival Latina gang that robbed their stash house. And you might think, oh well, they're going to look for clues and solve this mystery of where this Latina gang has hidden their stash. But no. What they do to investigate the mystery is they kidnap one of the members of the gang and strap his testicles to a car battery until he tells them where they hid the stash. And they don't even let him go when they find out where the drugs were. They string him up in public to make an example out of him. Remember when the Hardy Boys stood for something? When being a Hardy Boy meant something? Those days are gone. Then there's the last one was Wikipedia Brown in the Case of Who Stole Mrs. Studebaker's Ducks. For one, it's Wikipedia Brown now because no kid today knows what an encyclopedia is. They never read it. They know Wikipedia. And the problem with Wikipedia Brown is he knows everything, but only in a broad stroke of everything, and he believes anything anyone ever tells him, regardless of their qualifications or position in life. And he has seriously bad ADD. Like, he gets started on a case, and he has dropped it completely very shortly after. Like, the case, like, he was researching the migration habits of ducks to find out what happened to Mrs. Studebaker's ducks, and the case quickly went from the case of who stole Mrs. Studebaker's ducks to the case of who stole the careers of the child cast of D2 The Mighty Ducks. You know, and it's nice to know that, you know, Aberman landed on his feet with a real estate job, and, you know, it was interesting to remind myself that Julie the Cat Gaffney was in Rookie of the Year as the love interest, but that doesn't help solve the mystery. They never solve the mystery. It just kind of goes off onto that tangent. You know, it's cool that, what's his name? Goldberg. It's nice that he opened a bakery and then it went legs up in New Jersey a few months after he opened it, but that's not going to find those ducks. I like, does anyone like top 40 pop music? Any fans of that? I'm a fan. I like it in spite of itself. But like, I listen to a lot of it, and usually I can just kind of like let slide anything they say. But there are times where I've got to just draw a line and be like, nope, I'm not going to accept that. Like, okay, Katy Perry. She's a hot lady. We can agree on that? That's a given? Okay, I will take anything she said. Katy Perry, you kissed a girl and the experience was enjoyable for you? That's funny. It was enjoyable for me too when you kissed a girl. Or you're saying, Katy Perry, that a girl being from California, because she's from California, her skin is so hot that it will melt my popsicle, which I'm guessing is my penis. I guess that sounds hot. I don't know. But she's got this song, E.T., where she talks about how she wants to bang an alien, which she married Russell Brand. It makes sense. I can accept that. But in the song, she uses the word, she says that it's transcendental bang an alien, and I just don't believe that she knows that word enough to use it in a sentence. I mean, earlier in the song, she says like an alien encounter is supernatural, and that's not right. It's extraterrestrial. It's not super. Then there's Usher. He's got that great song, DJ Got Us Falling in Love Again, which, here's how much of a white kid I am. When I first heard that song, I thought DJ Tanner. But the song, he claims, you know, a DJ has the otherworldly power to make him fall in love with some sweet honey on the dance floor. I can accept that. That's fine. But when he says it makes him feel like a zombie come back to life, back to life, that's where I gotta draw the line, because a zombie come back to life, back to life, it's a resurrected human being. It's just a person. Like, a zombie is dead, but a resurrected human being, like, if you wouldn't be concerned, like, with this hot hoe, you would be ashamed of trying to eat your friends and neighbors when you were a zombie. And then finally there was Christina Aguilera's seminal hit, Genie in a Bottle. I like to keep it current, guys. In the song, she makes the claim, I'm a genie in a bottle, you gotta rub me the right way. Last time I checked, that's not how genies work. I think you gotta rub the bottle to get the genie to come out of it, not... I can't fit my hand inside. Like, I know that there's magic involved, but I can't put my hand in a bottle to rub the genie while she's in there. It doesn't make a lot of sense. You know, it takes me out of the song to the point where, like, I can't rub my bottle to get the genie to come out. You know, the bottle's my penis and the genie is my sperm. You know, it's like it'd be like if I said, you know, you gotta rub my sperm to get my penis to come out. Guys, that's all I got.